Alright, so let's quickly rig this character. So I'm going to do skeleton, create joints, and I'll just click on the grid here. I'm going to press W. Remember, it kind of comes in pretty small, so I'm going to hit 30 there, and I'm going to go to the front view. And again, I'm holding space and right-clicking on the word Maya to go to front view. Then I'm going to hold V, and I'm just going to snap it to the front vert there. Then I'm going to hold space and go to the right view, and just pull that in to center it. Now let's go ahead and create these two hip joints. So one there, move it off to the side, and I'm holding Shift to duplicate it. Holding Shift again, duplicating this one, just making copies, trying to position them that way. And same thing here, holding Shift, moving it off to the side, and then down. And you go to your front view a little bit to double check. I'm using the mesh itself as a, let's turn this off so we don't select the mesh, but as a guide. So if I place this here in the center, something like this. Then holding Shift, and I'm just going to place one joint towards the bottom. Now what I'm noticing is even my mesh here doesn't line up. Normally I would go to face mode and straighten all these out. Which makes for a much cleaner mesh. So I'll do that there, and then I'll just quickly reduplicate that leg again. And so you remember we placed that in the center. So if I just go to Edit, Duplicate Special, I have that, and then across to the other side, I'll do Edit, Duplicate Special, and instead of it being in this axis, we'll do a -1 here. And then hit apply. There we go. Oops. There we go. Okay. So let's uncheck this so that we don't select the mesh. And let's go ahead and let's go to our right view. And I'm going to hold Shift and just copy that over here, just positioning it there. And then holding Shift. So I'm just creating the base joints where I want them to be. So going up the hierarchy because I want my parent to be this joint here. And actually let's hold Shift and just copy one out here so that we have like a kind of like a handlebar in which to direct the head. I'm going to select this and then hold Shift and go up and then hit P like parent to parent it. And then P like parent, and I'm going to parent this one to the root. Same thing here, P like parent, P like parent. And then I'll parent this up to this one here. And then this one actually gets parented back to here. So let's just name these really quick. I'm going to name this one root, this one I control, I, and then CTRL is usually the way I do it. And then this is L underscore F for front underscore hip. And I just highlight the L underscore hip here. Boom. Because an F stands for back. So actually, let's just copy this whole thing for a second. And then, so this would be L underscore B hip. And then this would be L underscore knee. Come on. There we go. And then this would be from B to F. And then I usually just kind of name these like, instead of knee, foot. Just kind of copy this name to save time. If you remember before, we can select these two joints and then go to skeleton, mirror joints. L underscore, and we're going to search for that. We're going to replace it with R underscore, and then hit apply. And let's do one first, I guess. Yeah. You could see here, it replaced the R with the L. And then let's do the same thing for this. Looks pretty good. All right, let's skin it. So I'm going to select the mesh here. And let's make sure this is here. And if you remember, I did a select dash high before as my to select the joint chain all the way down. So select dash high, which it doesn't seem to let me. Oh, here's our mel command. There we go. Select dash high, and you can left click to highlight this, and then middle mouse drag it in here, and then make a mel command. I don't know if you can see this. Let me expand my mel scripting window just by clicking here. Select dash high. I think I could zoom in there so you could see it. So that's the command itself. And you can also highlight and drag it from here and then create a mel command. So for you, so I click that, now it'll select high. Then I can select the mesh and then just do skin and then bind skin. And generally you can do, instead of joint hierarchy, let's see, selected joints, and that'll kind of give you, so only these joints affected and not the root. So I'm going to hit apply there, and now when we rotate this, you can see only this affects it. And there's some skinning issues, and I'll show you how to fix that. But for now, let's, same as before, let's go ahead and select this hip, and then select high, the mesh, and then I'm going to hold Control and Shift and just add binding skin here and test that. Okay. You do all these steps here. All right, and then for the head, I'm just going to select really this top root and then the head and skin it, and that way we have, oh actually, you know what, we need this, we do need a second joint. We need this to be, I'm going to actually move this in and then hold Shift to copy. Well, let's see. Let's see if we hit Control D, does that duplicate it? We actually do need a head joint that we can rotate this with. Because right now our root select is everything. And we need a free moving. So we could create an aim controller, but let's see, if we move this out here and I select this, it's still the root. Let's go to our right view. If I create a joint out here, let's make that 30 as well. And parent that, this would be free moving. And then we could just sort of position this a little higher. And then something like that. And we'll name this one eye controller. We'll do this one as eye controller. Name this one head. And now when we select this mesh, we could just bind that to the head. It already has some binding, so I'm going to go to Edit, Delete by Type, History to remove that, and then select this head joint, and then this, and then do skin. Well, you know what? I'm going to position this right above the root, like this. The root we should have made. You know what? Let's do this. I'm going to move this up, and I'm going to grab my root. I'm going to press D, and I'm going to move this down in between. And then I'm going to move my head joint up here. So it's positioned something like that. Then I'm going to hold Shift and grab that, and then I'll bind that. And now when I rotate this, we should have head, sort of this head rotation control. Yeah, so just be aware. Let me hide the mesh for a second. And, let's see, show polygons. So you can see that our root is in the center here. And that controls everything. Then we have a head joint up here and an eye controller and some legs. So let's finish this off by going to skeleton, I create IK handles, and what we're looking for is for the IK handles, we're looking for a rotation plane solver that allows us to rotate it. So clicking each one here. Let's actually add that here. So, and let's turn off our geometry. And I'm going to press G. G redoes last action. Oops, we already got that one. So if I select this, and we go show polygons, and really I'm just trying to grab that little IK handle in there, I should be able to move it around like this. Same thing in here. If I uncheck the joint, but I leave this on, it'll only grab the IK handle. Alright, so there's our skeleton and IK handle. What we'll do in the next video is we'll create the foot controllers and the head controller.